90% of wholesalers fail with inbound marketing, but the question is, why? I believe it's because they lack the following 5 pillars that we ourselves have used to generate $15 million in assignment fees. In addition to that, have helped our clients scale anywhere from 2 deals per month on the low end to as many as 40 deals per month on the high end. And at the very end of this video, you're gonna have a 6-step checklist to ensure that your first or your next inbound marketing campaign is guaranteed to make you money. All of this starts with your markets or your location targeting. And here's what I mean. Many wholesalers that I speak to and why I see them fail is because they're focused on what I like to consider low quality markets, which I define with 2 main characteristics. First, being low population, and second, little to no buyer activity. But you may be asking, why on earth would somebody target a low quality market? And from what I've seen, it's because they want to keep their cost per lead low. But any smart wholesaler would know, if the lead does not turn into a contract and a check or a deal at the closing table, it does not matter. So what can you do about this? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what we do. First, we focus on targeting markets with a population with 500,000 people or more and leverage a variety of softwares for dispositions as well as grade buyer activity within those markets. Now here's the caveat. When I said as many markets as possible, I genuinely mean it. You see, most investors also fail with inbound marketing because they have the belief that the more markets they go into, the more expensive it gets. But what if I told you it was the other way around? Meaning, the more markets you go into, the cheaper it gets, resulting in more leads at a cheaper cost and getting opportunities in areas where you can actually sell your deals. So the question is, why do people stay in their backyard anyways? And that's a great question. And from what I've seen, again, it's because they feel like it's the most comfortable thing to do. And if you've been in business for any time now, you should know that it's hard to scale a business all while staying in your comfort zone. And this brings us on to our next pillar, ad spend, or your marketing budget. Simply put, some people, some investors specifically, just are not spending enough. And from my experience, it's because they've been misled by agencies who honestly are clueless themselves as to how much you actually need to spend to get proper results, which as a result causes them to spend a measly $50 or even $75 a day in ad spend or $1,500 to $1,800 per month in ad spend. And transparently, this is literally the number 1 reason why I see investors fail. Like I said, they simply are not spending enough. Now here's a perfect way to put it, or here's an analogy for you. If you're cold calling and I went to you and it's like, hey man, you can only cold call 50 people per day. My question to you is, how long would it take for you to get a deal? The answer is too long. But if I went to you and I told you, hey, you could cold call 300 people per day, I think we could both agree that you'll close deals a lot quicker, specifically 6 times quicker. The point I'm trying to make here is that it truly is just a numbers game. So the question then becomes, how much should I be spending in order to build a highly profitable marketing campaign for motivated sellers? Well, let's break it down to you with real numbers and data. Conservatively, it costs us about $70 to $100 per motivated seller based on our data. If, again, conservatively speaking, you're a newer investor and it took you about 25 leads to close 1 deal, that means your cost per deal would come out to about $2,100, right? Now, I do want to make it clear as a disclaimer, this is average data. Not our client average data, but average data as a whole, right? Our clients typically close anywhere from 1 out of 15 to 18 leads that we generate specifically on Facebook ads. But back to the point, if you're only spending $1,500 to $1,800 per month in ad spend, you can even get 1 deal consistently per month, right? Because if it costs you $2,100 on average and you're spending only $1,500 to $1,800, there's a discrepancy there, right? You can't even get 1 deal per month. And this is exactly what frustrates me. If investors just took a step back, run the numbers to see if that even makes sense, it would save them from wasting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on their marketing. And for us as a marketing company, minimum ad spend for our clients is anywhere from $100 to $120 per day. And in my personal opinion, if any agency or a freelancer comes to you and tells you to do less, they truly don't know what they're talking about. Now, the third pillar that wholesalers lack, which results in failure with inbound marketing, is expectations. Now, here's what I mean by this. Investors that I speak to, or maybe you yourself, will see results and cases of people closing 1 out of 8 or 1 out of 4 or even 1 out of 15 leads and think that's the average, or see others set up a campaign and get a deal within their first week and believe that you can achieve the same. So here's my 2 cents on this. It is absolutely possible to achieve those results because we do it on a daily basis, but it is not common. Also, chances are you're only seeing one side of the puzzle, the good side, right? Those people may have resources, skills, connections that not everybody has, which as a result gives them a competitive advantage. So here's some expectations that you should have when launching your first or your next inbound marketing campaign. It on average takes about 7 days for your marketing campaign to warm up and get traction. And on average, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for our clients to get their first deal. There will be leads that come in that are listed or what retail offers, but again, focus on the ratio. If it's a couple out of 50 or 100, trust me, you'll be okay. Understand that not every lead that comes in, whether it's through Facebook, PPC, Bing ads, TikTok ads, whatever the case is, it is not a laydown. Don't try to skip your sales process because you see someone who submitted good answers on their landing page or give them special treatment. Another thing is think longer term. The goal is to build a profitable marketing channel that will take care of your business. So if you want to do inbound marketing, my advice, commit to it for 4 to 6 months. Otherwise, just don't do it at all. Now, I say all this as an opportunity to underpromise and eventually overdeliver. Because if I tell you it takes 6 weeks to get one deal and you come in, you work, you set up inbound marketing campaigns, and you get a deal in your 3rd week, you're gonna be pretty happy. But if I did vice versa, you'd be pretty upset, right? I've also noticed that nowadays the bar is set so low with shitty marketing companies that you could simply make people happy by setting a proper expectation and then just meeting it. From there, once you launch your first or your next inbound marketing campaign, the goal is to establish your benchmark KPIs, right? What is your average cost per lead, cost per appointment, cost per contract, cost per deal, average return on ad spend? Those are the few that I like to track, right? And this brings us on to pillar 4 of why wholesalers fail. They have little to no metric tracking or data tracking. And if they do, they're optimizing and tracking the wrong numbers. Here's a perfect example. I see so many wholesalers who run inbound marketing, optimize and scale their campaigns for the lowest cost per lead as opposed to the lowest cost per deal or even highest return on ad spend. Let's use some numbers for context, right? So my question for you is this, and here's a perfect example. Would you rather scale a campaign that is giving you 100 motivated sellers at $20 cost per lead to close one deal, or 4 leads at $250 cost per lead to close one deal? Now, yes, I get there's follow-up and a rolling pipeline, but for the sake of this example, 99% of investors would go for the second option. The question is why? It's less work, costs the same, and you get the same result. And if you want to go a step further, signing fees could typically be a little bit higher as cost per lead is typically a more qualified lead who's willing to sell at a deeper discount. And wrapping up this example, we optimize and suggest others to optimize their campaigns on lowest cost per deal or highest return on ad spend or ROAS. Other metrics that you should be tracking, or we advise our clients to be tracking, is lead to contract rate, and you can calculate that by total leads divided by contract in a specific time period. Second is cash conversion cycle, so the time it takes for a new lead opt-in to become a closed deal. Next is average assignment fee, so total revenue divided by number of closed deals. So this is your average assignment fee. Next is percentage of your marketing versus your P&L. So the way we do that is on a monthly basis, what is your marketing spend divided by your company revenue? For us, KPI is 15 to 20%. We don't really want to exceed that. And if it does, it tells us that our marketing is not as efficient as it should be. Next is cost per deal. Total spend divided by number of deals closed, right? That's your cost per deal. How much does it cost on inbound ads to get a deal? Finally is return on ad spend. Total revenue divided by your cost of marketing. And again, I'll have my editor put up a graph so you could pause and screenshot all the formulas. That way you can implement it into your business. But the next and final pillar as to why I see wholesalers fail is because their sales process just sucks, right? It is embarrassing to admit, but some wholesalers literally just can't even close an open door. And that's how sad it is. And this issue stems from their sales process, which I define by a few things. First is strict lead qualification with tie downs, verifications to ensure high show rates and accurate information. Next is an offer call. So an enthusiastic and setting proper expectations, okay? It's really important to remember that these sellers you're speaking to are about to sell the most valuable asset in their life. And third is a follow-up strategy to ensure that nobody slips through the cracks. For us and our clients, we use nurture sequences on emails, text messages, and ringless voicemails to keep them in the loop. That way, whenever they are ready to sell in the future, they'll reach back out to us. Another side thing is a feedback call or a second voice strategy, right? And long story summed up short, what typically happens is a manager or another person on your team can call them and frame it as a way to get feedback. But as a result, you get the real objection and you can overcome the objection and close the deal right then and there. For us, that has added to our clients an extra 1 to 2 deals per month. And that has been one of my favorite strategies. So with that said, if you're in the right markets with opportunities and buyer activities, you have a sufficient marketing budget to generate opportunities consistently, you have proper expectations of how the process works and the time it takes to get inbound marketing off the ground and get it to have traction, clarity of your metrics that way you and your company, your team, can make data-driven decisions, a sales process that converts opportunities into contracts consistently, I could personally guarantee you that you'll be able to scale your wholesaling business based off of our experience of generating $15 million in assignment fees over the last 4 years and have helped wholesalers anywhere from 2 deals per month on the low end to as many as 40 deals per month on the high end. With that said, that's all I have for this video, but don't go anywhere yet, right? Check out my next video up here of how we helped one of our clients, Chris, go from $0 to $214,000 in closed assignment fees in just 6 weeks, all right? I break down the KPIs, our processes, the case studies, how we plan on scaling him to $500,000 per month and beyond, right? So I believe it's really valuable. If you like this video, I know for a fact you're gonna like that video. And finally, I appreciate you sticking to the very end. And if you got value out of this video, all I ask is that you subscribe, like, and comment any questions you may have. Again, my name is Benjamin. I'm the CEO, founder here at Bold Deals, and I will see you in the next one.